Hello, everyone, and welcome back. This is Women in Web3, a new initiative from Graphtronauts to promote women involved in crypto and Web3 space. Today, we have Gabi from Stake2Earn, a very active indexer in the Graph community. Gabi is a lead product manager at Stake2Earn. Welcome, Gabi.
Thank you, Paolo, for inviting me.
Thanks to you, Gabi. So let's start with our question. Gabi, traditionally we often see that the IT world has been predominantly a male dominated field, while it seems that in Web3 there are increasingly more women involved. Do you agree with this opinion? And why do you think Web3 is different from the classical IT world?
I agree and I disagree with this in regards to Web3. Um, Indeed, it's more than well known that in the IT world there are more men than women. I used to work in IT companies in the last 3 years, and I also noticed this gender difference. However, what I also noticed is that most of the companies started to understand that the gender diversity actually helps them in terms of performance, because okay, it's well known that men are very skilled in terms of mathematics, technical stuff, engineering and logical thinking and so on, but the women are also bringing the color and the creativity, and this is something that you need in order to make a full pack when you're building a product or a project or whatever you want to bring in the market. In order to be used by the end user, you also need both sides. So besides that, just like a small curiosity, I was when I got invited to this call, to this conference, I also started reading a bit just for myself about this gender diversity and difference in technical environments. And I saw a survey that was created last year that is showing that women are more likely than men to hold junior level positions in the tech industry, regardless of their age. So um, there are more chances for women to start getting their hands in this environment as well. And for the Web3 world, I believe that it's happening the same as for the IT world. There are still lots of men involved. The majority are men, but everybody is seeing the advantages, and this environment started moving to the next step of adding the gender diversity faster than the IT world. And indeed, there are more women getting involved, and for sure there are going to be more in the future as well.
Thank you, no, for your answer. So yeah, true that for sure at the beginning. So also in the crypto space, we saw more men involved, and probably also because I think the beginning was mostly about building the infrastructure. But for example, what we see now that I mean the industry for sure is maturing, and we see a lot of opportunities and a lot of roles that needs to be filled. And
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah, for
Uh,
sure. Yeah, I mean, the diversity and the inclusivity that Web3 is bringing, so will make for sure, I mean, a good place to welcome more and more women into the space.
yeah, it's getting similar with any other environment where you also there's a place for programmers and the technical side as well, but as well as for marketing, sales, community managers, product managers, and so on.
And about the graph, so how did you discover the graph and when did you get involved with the ecosystem?
I discovered the graph through Alex, the CEO of Stake2Earn. At that point, the company was at the beginning. We already had like two networks added, and we were looking for adding a third one that would be the graph. um the project, not sure if everybody knows, but started just like a personal project and idea of Alex. He used to be a programmer and used to work in IT world, so he changed to Web3 world as well. So at the beginning in 2019, when Stake2Earn started, I was just collaborating on project based stuff with him, like with tutorials, so writing and publishing some social media posts and stuff like that. Further on, I got involved more in the communities. I started liking talking with people in the official chats, and answering questions and getting to understand more and more information about this Web3 world, and about the graph itself as well. I started joining AMAs. Not sure if everybody knows, but I also speak Spanish. So for the graph, I got involved in some AMAs with Lorena from the graph Spanish. Uh, and somehow I got myself thrown into the crypto ocean and I started liking it. And also because in between 2019 and present we also got married, so Stake2Earn become more like our first baby and our family company. This is also why we do everything more at a personal level, and our involvement might be higher than um, if it wouldn't have been this way for us.
So then, congratulations for your marriage.
Thank you.
And okay, what are the projects and activities on your roadmap for this year for Stick to Earn?
There are a lot because we had a huge growth in 2021. As I was saying, in 2019 we started with only one project, then we added a few more in 2020, but in 2021 we had more than 10 networks added to our list, and we also have around three networks that are right now in test nets and we are waiting for mainnet. We also extended the company in terms of employees. So our main focus for this year is to consolidate our brand. We started participating to some summits. Our first one was last month in Dubai for the World of Blockchain Summit, and we are planning to join more this year. In this way, we can also increase our community and the number of delegators. And we are also working at the marketing strategy in order to be more visible on the market. This is also important. And we want to manage to build our way from B2C to B2B collaborations. These are kind of our next milestones to reach until the end of the year and starting 2023 as well.
Coming back to the graph, what would you like to see the graph to accomplish in the near future?
The graph has a huge mission by wanting to be the internet of blockchains, as we see the definition everywhere on Google. But it also built a lot for this purpose, and for sure they will continue doing it. What I think it should be really important for the graph project in the near future is to manage to build more dApps in order to query more data than is being done right now. I know that last year I saw somewhere on their official Twitter, I believe, that the graph managed to reach their milestone of doing 1 billion queries. So maybe this year they will double it.
Yeah, and there will be also a massive focus also, I mean, recently has been announced also on supporting networks like Solana,
Yeah.
Polkadot, yeah, Cosmos, Near, and also I mean, there will be also this road to decentralization that will be the main focus in building and moving more and more subgraphs from the hosted service to the mainnet. So this is also one of the big focus for the year. But we will see a lot of announcement on Graph Day on June the 2nd. So yeah.
Great.
And so, what advice will you give now to people? So, if you want to, I don't know, for people that want to enter Web3 and especially women that maybe they can be, I don't know, deterred to enter the space, what kind of advice you want to give since you are already in Web3?
Well, neither tech or any other field in this world should be about having more women or having more men. Either women or men, you can practice whatever you want. You should not be influenced by gender prejudices or opinions. My opinion is that more important than this are the human values, the skills, the know-how, and the perseverance, the desire to progress and to do more, to be noticed. So my only advice for everyone would be, if you want to work in Web3, go for it. You can do whatever you want. Never is too late to join a different environment that you know nothing about. It may be scary and hard, um, if, because indeed Web3 shows the technicality and the fact that you need to be to have some programmer skills or technical skills in general. But it's not only a place, as you said at the beginning, it's not a place only for this kind of jobs. There are also people involved in testing, in product development, social media, community management, marketing, sales, and we can go on forever. So it's a word as complex as any other branch. There is place for everyone. You just need to try making the first step to get into it.
Yeah, no, it's true. And also, I mean, I can share also my experience where, I mean, a year ago, I didn't know anything about Web3. And I mean, what I see that you can enter the space and ask any questions. So you will find a lot of people, I mean, really welcoming you and provide all the support. So I mean, I never felt silly asking any kind of question. So, and really, you can learn a lot from the community. So the community, I see that is really willing to help everyone to join the space.
Yeah, that's true. And besides that, there, for example, in our branch, when we are talking about staking and validators, what I've also noticed is that what we are doing, there are also other validators doing it, because for sure they also understood that this is a way of actually helping. Uh, it's really important, this part in which you stay near to the people. You try to help them without actually trying to recommend yourself as a validator or anything, but in order to educate people to understand more about some principles in this crypto word, or about that specific project, about that specific staking process, and so on. Educating the community is really, really important at this stage in Web3 industry.
And I think you do also a really good job because I saw that you have also a newsletter, and I always receive this newsletter. I think you recently published something regarding, I suppose it was the staking on Solana on
Yeah.
mobile, and was really, I mean, so easy to read. It took me like less than 5 minutes to understand how to stake on Solana. It was for no non-technical users, so it was really, I mean, it is exactly the kind of content we need for, I mean, for people that wants to enter the space. So yeah, thank you. And so, okay, now, I mean, the interview is finished, but we generally we conclude here with some quick and funny questions, not related to crypto, not related to Web3, but just to get to know you better. So, Gabi, what's your favorite animal?
I believe you could hear my favorite
Yeah,
animal.
it's a dog.
It's it's a small lady dog. Her name is Dolly, and she's very upset right now because someone was on the floor next door to her. Um, I like a lot dogs, but I also like monkeys. Don't ask me why, but
But you
somehow
don't have at home
love them.
monkeys, no? You don't have any monkeys at home, no?
I don't have monkeys at home. No.
Okay.
I wish I could have one, but they're not legal
Yeah.
in Europe.
Yes, yeah. Small monkeys, I mean, not the big one. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not the big ones.
If you could have any superpower, what would be?
That's a very nice question. Um, when I was little, I loved watching Peter Pan, so I always dreamed of flying. So I'd like to fly. It would be also very good for our savings, because whenever I want to go to to travel somewhere,
Yeah,
I will not have to pay for planes.
yeah. It will be easier also after, I mean, the COVID, so you don't need to
Yeah,
use any QR code or any
yeah,
specific
exactly.
permission to travel. Yeah. Instead, if you could time travel to any era or event or any specific age, when and where will be?
Mm, maybe if you would have asked me this question like a few years ago, I would have told you a different period with princesses, castles, or monarchies and stuff like that. But right now, maybe because I'm more mature than a
Yeah,
few years back, um I can say that I wouldn't go to any era or any event in the world, because right now uh we have lots of uh, access to information, technology, education, more than ever we had before. So this is the best time to live in this on this planet, even though of course there are still some tragic events going on right now here and there, but we have the full access to everything that was ever built until now. So this is the for me is the best time to be.
and I can see your answer actually is very similar to, I mean, other people that I interview here, other women in for the women in Web3. So it's something that you share across all our audience. So the fact that probably this is the good time to live because of the openness of the access to information, inclusivity, and also yeah. So
Yeah, and it might be also because most of the people that you interviewed were women, and
yeah,
as you know, in the past, even now, there are still places where women are not accepted equally with men in society. They
yeah,
don't have
true.
all the rights as right now. So maybe for us, it's also something in because of this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uh, 200 years ago, because most probably I would just be having kids and that's it.
Yes, yes, true. Instead, if you could rewind the time in, I don't know, 10 years from now, what will you tell to yourself? I mean, what some specific advices that you will tell to yourself 10 years ago?
I will I would just encourage myself to keep doing what I'm doing right now, because it's going to lead somewhere very good in the future. uh, as an advice, maybe just cut a bit the fears and uh, try to listen more to my instincts in order to, because they're going to I'm going to make a good choice.
Yeah, that is often, yeah, a good answer. I mean, always to follow your gut often it tells you always no the right direction often. So yeah, sometimes the logic is always stopping us, yeah, pulling us. Yeah. So last question. So if you could live anywhere in the world, which place you will choose?
I live in Romania, so here I have all my friends and family and everything that I know. It's a very nice country. Maybe some of the people listening know something about Romania or not, but we have access to everything. We have the seaside, we have the mountains, we have great natural views. I wouldn't see myself living somewhere else. But last year I had the chance to go to Tenerife. So because I also like the language, I speak it, I love the Spanish food and everything, I would see myself for a couple of months during the year
In the
living there.
winter, maybe. In the winter.
Yeah, maybe in the
Yeah.
winter I would see myself living there for a couple of months. There are lots of things to see and climb around on that island as well, so I wouldn't mind.
Yeah. No, thank you for your answer. And I second you about Romania. It's really, I mean, a beautiful country. I had the opportunity to visit and live there also for a while. So yes, I also encourage everyone to go and visit. Yeah, because there are wonderful landscape, food, and
Yeah,
people are really, really warm.
it might be that Bucharest is not the best choice, even though it's the capital, because it's crazy, just like any other capitals. But there are lots of other nice
Yeah,
cities
like the
where we.
Transylvania, the castles, like the
Yeah.
Dracula castles that everyone maybe wants to visit. Yeah. So, Gabi, thanks again for your time. It was really a pleasure to talk to you. And also, I mean, good luck and also for all the, I mean, everything you want to accomplish. And also, thanks for sharing also the roadmap for Stake2Earn. I mean, we saw you have a quite, I mean, an extensive roadmap and a lot to accomplish to, I mean, grow your activity. So, thank you again and all the best to you and all the people at Stake2Earn. Thank you.
Thank you so much for inviting me as well, and thank you for the idea that you built around the women in crypto. It's a very, very nice idea, and congratulations for that. Keep doing all other episodes because I heard the rest of the episodes that you've done, and they're amazing. It's nice to see some of the women's from behind of the projects that I saw on the internet. It's nice to see a face as well. And yes, thank you for listening to us. And hope to hear and talk with the graph community soon in other projects as well.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day, Gabi. Thank you so
You
much.
too. Thank you. Bye.